midcourt. Extra pass. And it goes for the win!
I know. This is before this entire idea about quote-unquote baddies became a thing in connection with Jordan Poole. But look at it this way. You're young, in college, and admit it. All of us play better in high school and college-age lives when we knew the girl of our dreams just pulled up out of nowhere and started watching us play. Which is why, I am convinced, the day Jordan Poole hit that iconic walk-off shot in the NCAA tournament a few years ago, I didn't know it at the time, but there had to have been what we like to call baddies in the audience that Poole knew about. And I know, Jordan Poole had a rough postseason and everybody is telling him to pack his bags to China, but let's be honest. If there was enough baddies courtside, this young man probably would have went off. Steph is the face of the Warriors right now, and he is probably neck and neck with LeBron James as the most recognizable figure in basketball around the globe. But there will come a day when the NBA season will start and Steph Curry won't be in the league, and certainly will no longer be the face of the Warriors. Instead, I think I have a solid idea of who the next face in the Bay Area is getting ready to become. It's going to be this dude up in the Bay with often a mind of a 17-year-old high schooler looking to impress that one girl who just walked by the doors of the gym and saw you put up a three-pointer from 33 feet. It's Jordan Poole. I trust that he'll get his act together for the next season and have a lot to prove. There is something about last season's playoffs that brought the best out of Jordan Poole almost on a nightly basis. Whether it was the big stage, the need for clutch shot making, or, let's be honest, the playoff stage equals tons of baddies in the audience, which we know Poole loves. On April 26th, 2022, Jordan Poole played in his first ever playoff game and immediately impressed us all in a way that no one saw coming. He scored 30 points on 69% from the floor and 71% from three. All in all, it was a better playoff debut than his teammate Steph Curry, the late Kobe Bryant, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, and Michael Jordan. Steph scored 19 on just 35% shooting in his first playoff game. Kobe scored just 2 points. Larry Bird had a rather pedestrian 15 points. Magic had 13 and shot just 33%. And the GOAT MJ scored 23 points on 37% shooting. Let that sink in for just a second. A 22-year-old and the 28th pick of the NBA draft just 3 seasons earlier. Poole's debut beat out some debuts of the game's all-time greatest players. That has to be one of the most impressive 30 points in 30 minutes you'll ever see, especially with the next highest scorer on the team being Klay Thompson with just 19 points. Poole led the way. If that game didn't look like Poole has the legitimate makings of becoming the lead man on this Warriors team one day, I don't know what else to tell you. If we are strictly talking about the postseason only and not the NBA Finals, the only better playoff debuts I can think of are Luka Doncic's 42 points in 2020 and LeBron's debut back in 2006 against the Washington Wizards, as performances you could argue were perhaps definitively better. Other than that, we just witnessed one of the greatest shooting playoff debuts in NBA history, and for whatever reason, not a single person I know is even talking about it. But hey, remember how I was talking about how we've all imagined a scenario where we hit a buzzer beater with that person of our dreams looking on? Well, if there is one thing that I think all of us can agree on about Jordan Poole, it's that he is absolutely fearless. We know the shot he took and hit in the 2018 NCAA tournament to win the game. But beyond that, to step into a dynastic culture like Golden State and have zero reluctance in taking or making big shots, I think it's a huge testament to just how crucial mental fortitude is for guys in the NBA. Talent is one thing. Pair it with mindset, you've got yourself one heck of a player. And this all defines the unique attributes of the still very young Jordan Poole. I'll be honest, watching Poole dominate like that without Steph or Klay in the lineup made me think of what is soon to come as Steph and company get older and the team slowly becomes more and more Jordan Pooles. Now, if something happens and the Warriors for some reason decide to move on from him, then scratch everything I'm about to say. But look, I realize he wasn't his routine self from the field or three, but the eye test tells you that this man is prepared to soon hit a whole new level in his game. With Golden State trailing for the entire second half, Poole's 19 second-half points kept his team afloat even after they trailed by 15 late in the third quarter. And after a spirited fourth-quarter run, the Warriors pulled within just 1 point, and then came time for this man to do what he's proven he can do with the game on the line.
Poole, threes, top iron, long rebound, D-Lee fighting for it, still loose, Moody's got another one, and then Damian's got it. Poole for the lead, good!
And yet, that was just foreshadowing of things to come because Poole used that buzzer beater in February as target practice to make the most of the big stage come a few months later.
Get a shot off. Wiggins to Poole. Poole gets it off in time. Oh, he banks it in! He banks it in! They count it as the buzzer sounds!
I feel like I've seen this before. Same jersey, similar size player, and the same spot.
No fouls to give for Cleveland. Ahead to Curry. Curry sets, fires, puts it up. Bang!
Yup. The only difference I see here is, nothing. Well, actually, I see one thing differently. If you look closely enough, Steph's just going to Steph. Jordan Poole's engine turns on the second he sees that baddie in the audience looking on. Seriously. Doesn't it look like Jordan Poole was meant to be a warrior? I'm not trying to say that Poole is going to be the face of the franchise just because he hits half courts, but I am saying that his style of play, his swagger, and his cash all fit perfectly for the Warriors culture and what the league has slowly transitioned into. The NBA was once a league where, unless you were Michael Jordan, you had to either be huge or skilled, or both, to become the face of your own team, let alone become the face of the entire NBA. Put it this way, if you were to take Steph and Klay off the team, who would you think would be considered the new face of the franchise? Draymond Green? He is beloved in the Bay, maybe not as much as he was before he punched Poole, and is a champion, but his game isn't all that exciting, which is something that plays a huge role in being thought of as the face of the franchise in the fans' eyes. Jordan Poole can shoot the lights out? Check. Plays with swagger? Check. Is iconic because of his connection with these so-called baddies? Check. Sticks his tongue out when celebrating? Check. The face of the franchise? Well, at some point, check. I don't know about you. When I turn on a Warriors game after Steph is gone, it's going to be because of Poole. It's one thing to be a great shooter with lightning-quick handles. I mean, hold on. So you're telling me that Jordan Poole isn't just a shooter? That he can be explosive at his relatively small size of 6 feet 5 inches tall?
I'm giving him a point just for the move. And he got fouled.
That's even beyond Steph Curry. I've been watching the NBA for a while now, and that looked awfully reminiscent of a young Russell Westbrook recently taking flight, looking to put another man on a poster. That man was none other than LeBron James. I know Warriors fans and Poole would have taken that poster to the bank because that would have been one resounding statement. As much as Steph has hung my jaw with hitting never-before-seen shooting from range, if Poole starts doing that consistently, oh man, I've got to tell you, it might just be over. How many players in the league can pull off that move? And how many young players would try to pull something like that off, coming ahead of steam down the court like that? I get it. He didn't finish the dunk, but that move had special written all over it. I guess the Warriors sat back last summer and told themselves that all this guy needs is a baddie courtside and he'll play like Steph on steroids. Why not hand him a fat new contract? Then again, every NBA franchise dreams of finding that one player at the bottom of the first round or any round and hope he turns into something special. The Chicago Bulls, for example, tried their best to find another high-flying, transcendent guard that would help to fill the shoes of MJ after he left them in 1998, but the team was just terrible for a long while until D. Rose stepped in Chi-Town. The same thing will inevitably happen to the Golden State Warriors. Again, provided nothing weird happens and he stays a Warrior for a long time. I don't know how it happened and why it did, but Poole just transformed the game in a way I didn't think was possible, using baddies in the audience to bring out a whole nother monster in him. Look, I wish I could pull the numbers on Poole's performances without a baddie in the crowd versus an actual baddie in the crowd, but I don't need to pull the numbers to tell you that Poole plus baddies equals legendary.